What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. The newly crowned AEW World Champion will be on Dynamite, and he's got a lot to say. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including breaking news as William Regal is headed back to the WWE, allegations made against Kane, Triple H is pushing Finn Balor to the moon, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and a non-wrestling channel, Incredible. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Hangman Adam Page is back. Last night's Dynamite featured two big returns, beginning with the return of Hangman Adam Page. Page returned to confront Jon Moxley, the man who accidentally put him out of action during Page's title match with Mox. Moxley boasted about being at the top of the food chain, daring anyone with guts to come out and tell him something different. Page disagreed, and when Moxley asked Page if he wanted to continue after what happened during their last meeting, it was time for some cowboy shit as Page threw down. This was a good way to set up Page's return and launch a program to keep Moxley out of the AEW World Championship picture for the near future. Number 2, Soho slams again. Hangman was the only returning wrestler as Ruby Soho showed up just in time to deliver a beatdown to Tay Mello. Soho's push was getting started when she suffered a broken nose. Now that she's back, fans will want to see how AEW uses her. Right now it appears she has unfinished business with the Woman of the Jericho Appreciation Society, but at some point one would think Soho would re-enter the title picture. Number 3, an instant classic. Last night's first time ever bout between FTR's Dax Harwood and Bryan Danielson was fantastic, and a reminder how much talent AEW has. The case can certainly be made that the company has too much talent, but when you see instant classics like this, you can't help but be grateful Tony Khan likes breaking out the checkbook whenever a top talent or rising star becomes available. Number 4, MJF's reign of terror begins. A newly crowned AEW World Champion Maxwell Jacob Freeman was on fire last night, not only revealing he became aligned with William Regal, but also unveiling a new championship belt and letting AEW fans know just how things were going to be with him as the company's standard bearer. The segment went long, but MJF made the most of it, showing how his title win has only emboldened him into becoming more of a jerk. The new champ taunted AEW by promising to use his title win to squeeze a big money contract out of WWE when his current AEW deal expires. While MJF's explanation of how Regal approached him and offered to take his villain game to the next level was a bit weak, what happened next wasn't, as MJF returned Regal's brass knuckles to him by clobbering him. An ungrateful MJF mocked Regal's offer, reminding him he'd made a deal with the devil and taunting the fallen Regal by paraphrasing the same advice Regal gave him when he told a young JF he wasn't ready for WWE. MJF's promise that his reign of terror has just begun had to send chills throughout some fans as they wondered just how much lower Max can go. Number 5, another trio sensation. Last night's trios match between Death Triangle and the Elite was fantastic. While AEW should continue its rule of avoiding endless rematches, this series is the exception that breaks the rule. As we noted when the Best of 7 series began, it's obvious AEW wants to let fans know how exciting the Trios Championship can be. And another funny Acclaim session. The Acclaimed reminded fans that they're not the proverbial one-trick pony when it comes to comedy. While Max Caster's raps are usually entertaining, this segment featured a comically stern daddy-ass grilling Max and Anthony Bowens on their future opponents. The chemistry between Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed is one of those wrestling rarities, and AEW needs to run with it as long as they can. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1, do we really need Bow Wow in AEW? Does AEW need Bow Wow? While wrestling has a long history of incorporating celebrities into the product, the idea of Bow Wow battling Jade Cargill fills Wrestlelamia with dread, and AEW needs to be extremely cautious how it handles Jade Cargill, arguably its most precious commodity in the women's division. Now, there was nothing downright ugly as AEW put fans on notice that they might like MJF, but the devil is going to do some downright wicked things. Now that Full Gear is over, AEW seems to be moving on to the same interesting new programs, including Page vs Mox, Soho vs Anna Jay and Tay Mello, and new challenges for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. While Winter is Coming doesn't look as strong as past shows on paper, you can be certain Tony Khan will provide some surprises to jazz the show up. What'd you guys think of Dynamite last night though? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now first is breaking news as William Regal headed back to WWE. Atop of today's news is a report from PW Insider that it appears that William Regal is headed back to WWE. Now, we're a little skeptical in light of the varying stories on Sir William's AEW contract status. The angle on last night's Dynamite where MJF destroyed Regal suggests he may have been written off TV. PW Insider reported, though, all signs are that William Regal, 54, will be World Wrestling Entertainment bound shortly. Although we have heard nothing official from the company, there have been rumblings within WWE of late about Regal returning in a backstage role. That would mean Regal would be exiting AEW, where it certainly appeared that he was written out of storylines last night on Dynamite, having been attacked by AEW champion MJF. What do you guys think of Regal coming back to WWE? Next up, Glenn Jacobs, aka Kane, embroiled in a scandal. As former WWE superstar Glenn Jacobs embroiled in a scandal? Well, that's a report coming from Knox County, Tennessee, where Jacobs serves as mayor. According to a report from Knox News, Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs asked county employees to work at his home while they were on a clock, pressured the department head to lie to state investigators, and cursed at him when he wouldn't do it, according to a federal lawsuit the county settled by agreeing to pay $150,000 to former Parks and Recreation Director Paul White. According to the Knox News report, the lawsuit was filed after claims were made about Mayor Jacobs' conduct following the reports of a scandal concerning the personal use of county resources. In this case, it was alleged that county workers removed a snake from the mayor's home. However, there apparently was no admission that any laws were broken. Our website has more details on the allegations behind the scandal, and we encourage you to visit it for more information on this story as well as the latest breaking news in the wrestling world. Next up, Kevin Owens still hurt? Well, that's a report from Dave Meltzer, who commented on the Wrestling Observer Radio that Owens is still hurt, but it's believed that he'll be able to continue working through his knee injury. With rumors that KO's wrestling Roman Reigns at the Rumble, it'll be interesting to see how the WWE protects him until then. Next up, a Randy Orton update. Time for a Randy Orton update. As previously reported, Randy's father, Cowboy Bob Orton Jr., recently informed fans at a virtual signing that Randy is coming along well. However, a recent report from Give Me Sports' Louis Danga suggests otherwise. Randy Orton is on the sidelines right now. There's concern from within WWE that his injury is so severe that he may have to retire. To put things into context, it's believed that Orton is dealing with the same injury right now that kept Shawn Michaels out of the ring from 1998 to 2002. Hopefully, it's not that serious. Next up, Triple H pushing Finn Balor to the moon. There's intriguing news for Finn Balor as WrestleVotes claims that Triple H has begun plans for Finn Balor. According to a report, Helmsley sees Balor as a reclamation project, believing Finn was underused and mistreated by the previous regime. There's no denying that Finn enjoyed a stronger push following his defection to the Judgment Day. Next up, the recently released WWE announcer addresses her release. A recently released WWE announcer, Quetzali Belnez, addressed her release in a TikTok video, letting her fans know how her exit has affected her. As noted earlier today, it was believed that Belnez was released by WWE. While reasons for the Spanish language personality's release remain unconfirmed, rumor has it was due to an incident where she allowed a wrestling YouTuber to jump the barricade and appear at ringside. She did confirm this in a TikTok video she posted, although she now deletes the video. Ringside News posted a transcript from it saying, "I no longer work with the company that I used to be a host, and I was with it for 4 years. I want to tell you that it's been a very strong journey for me, in which I have to completely avoid drinking, going out in which I'm living 100% all the emotions. I have to accept that I feel sad and a little lost. I don't know where I'm going to go, and even though I don't want to drink or do anything else, I accepted it's time for me to start using my Raj project, which has coca in it, and coca helps a lot with depression and sad processes. So let's start right now. I'll let you know all." Now, we hope she finds success, and we wouldn't be surprised to see her hired by another wrestling promotion looking to capitalize on the Spanish-speaking market. And finally, Tony Khan signs 2 talents. Last but not least, Tony Khan has signed another talent, expanding AEW's roster even further. Khan tweeted the news with Fox replying, "I can't thank you enough. This is my dream. I'm ready to take off." Ringside News provided background on Fox's wrestling resume, saying, Fox previously competed in Lucha Underground under the name Dante Fox, where he feuded with the likes of Swerve Strickland, who wrestled at Killshot at the time. Fox wrestled Samoa Joe on last night's Dynamite, falling to the Samoan submission machine. But there you have it, folks. I'll look at Dynamite this week, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.